World Breastfeeding Month is being celebrated globally to encourage new and expecting moms to give their newborns the best start in life with breastfeeding. The overall aim is to have mothers exclusively breastfeed their babies from birth to the first 6 months of their lives. It means no formula, no water, no aniseed, no gripe water, nothing but breast milk. Tonight in Healthy Living, we look at the benefits of exclusive breastfeeding. The benefits of breastfeeding have been promoted for years, always focusing on the health benefits for the baby and the mom. Yet, in Belize, only 14% of babies are exclusively breastfed. And strangely, it is our baby boys who miss out the most.
The report, spearheaded by UNICEF, was 14.7%. However, when we see the breakdown by sex, it's interesting to note that in that census, in that report in 2011, boys, the rate of exclusive breastfeeding in boys was 10%. And in the females it was 21%. So it really calls the attention as to why this disparity.
The main question is why, especially when multiple studies show that a breastfed child is not only healthier but also more intelligent.
Multiple studies across the globe that it contributes directly to the health of newborns. During those 6 months, the child would have the opportunity to get all the nutrients, all the antibodies, all the immunoglobulins that are necessary for that infant to fight infections, for example. Of course, it contributes directly to his physical growth and cognitive development. There are multiple studies internationally that prove that breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, is related directly in preventing multiple infections.
The 14% recorded in the study represent moms who exclusively breastfeed their children. Exclusive, as in absolutely nothing else is fed to the baby but the breast.
The breast milk is so light and it has everything that it needs, just the right amount of water, vitamin and minerals that will do whatever the baby's stomach needs for that period of 6 months. So when we say exclusive breastfeeding, that is no water, no sugar and water, no glucose, no aniseed. Protects the baby from sickness. It is readily available. It is cheap. There's no money needed for breast milk. And also it has all the nutrients and water to quench that baby thirst. And it is also the first vaccine for the baby when the baby is born.
Nurse Griffith is the public health nurse at the Matron Roberts Clinic, a recently certified baby-friendly institution.
What that means is that breastfeeding is promoted at every opportunity. It's promoted, it's facilitated, the mothers are counseled, the staff learns about the benefits of breastfeeding. The fathers are encouraged to accompany the mothers during the prenatal visits. You may be aware that recently the Ministry of Health passed a policy to accept a companion during birth. It could be the father, it could be somebody else, but the father is strongly encouraged
Despite
to be there.
the obvious advantages of breastfeeding, there is still the challenge of confronting common myths that expectant mothers enter the hospital with.
It's not because the child is not getting enough or because you have to go back to work. There are different ways to solve that problem in the sense that the baby's stomach is very small. So when we think that the baby needs 4 ounces of milk or 3 ounces of milk, that is not true. The baby's stomach at birth is a very small, it's like a size of a pea. So the milk that the baby gets at birth, the colostrum, is enough for that child. The other concern is that they bottle feed because they have to go back to work. We encourage them to start expressing the milk at home while on maternity leave, store it in the freezer because breast milk lasts 6 months in the freezer. And with that, when they go back to work, they could provide that same breast milk in the cup to the daycare provider to give the child while they are away.
Many workplaces already implemented, but and within them there are written policies whereby an appropriate time is given as extra time for mothers to breastfeed. Sometimes they take it early in the morning or they leave early in the afternoon, or at midday they would be given 1 hour extra. But it is also encouraged that apart from the time, the workplaces also assign a space for them to go and extract the milk, which is already being promoted. But if there's not an appropriate space for it to be done, it could be uncomfortable. So the management within the private sector and even the public sector should, apart from giving time, also make space.
Another less discussed benefit is the lack of cost associated with breast milk.
Let's say you do the calculation for bottle feeding with formula. It's 2 cans of milk per week for a baby. That is $40 for a week. And for 4 weeks, $160. If you calculate for 4 or 5 years, you have money for university and high school for that child.
For the moms we met at the clinic, breastfeeding was their first and only option for their babies.
After birth, he was in ICU for, I think, 2 days. And I went to the ICU and I asked for them not to give him bottle because I will come at least every 3 hours for me to breastfeed him. So I did that and I breastfeed all my children. So for me it was easy. For my 3rd child, actually what I did, I resigned from my job so that I can give him full attention, including the breastfeeding.
What made you make the decision to breastfeed your baby?
That she maintain healthy in a good lifestyle. They grow healthy and there is you don't need money to buy the milk. I did it with my first 2, so I just decided to do it with this one as well. Well, with he just drink it, and as he done, he look at me and he smile. So I know it's not hard for me.
There has been no scientist in the world that could ever produce a milk that is comparable to breast milk. It is nature's natural milk and the best protection for our babies.